Yeah, which is kind of nice, unlike the last couple of years. We're going to be going to the American TWL dictionary to see Nigel Richards take on Joel Sherman. Both have won national championships before. Nigel's got a 2-game lead and just needs to win 1 game today to take down his 6th championship. Let's see if he can do it here.
So we're going to keep on TWL until that has been decided, and it could be decided, as Conrad said, as early as this game. Nigel just needs to win 1 more game, and he will clinch it, at which point we'll switch over to CSW. On that board, Jason Keller, who is in first place by 2 games.
1 game.
Is it 1 game? Oh, yeah, 1 game, sorry. Is going to be playing Craig Beaver, so that's a bit closer. So we will just follow the energy, and we'll just bring you always the best possible game that we could bring you.
So Nigel's staying about 10 kilometers from the hotel, and it is raining pretty hard today. So maybe biking over in the pouring rain, maybe it got him off on the wrong foot. We'll see. But he looks pretty dry right now, so anything's possible, I suppose.
Well, he's the last person in the world to carry a personal blow dryer with him, so I guess he got here nice and early.
Could fit in the fanny pack.
Oh my goodness, a rare trade, early trade by Nigel, early on. At least we're spared the vertical placement.
Heck yeah. Except Joel's going to exchange also
it's always
when
the
it's
way.
his turn, and then we'll be vertied.
If he could get rid of the V, he might keep, but I think the best he can do is pry, or everybody loves that P. We've been having this discussion. I am not a P fan.
Well, there are a few things Quackle can do correctly. Quackle being the artificial intelligence that teaches us how to play Scrabble, our robot overlord. And, it's just a darn close to, if not a better play.
All right, we'll see how this plays out. He picks an F, he's toast. He's profusely toast.
Well,
Pro legs.
yeah. In this case, if he kept the T,
and gospel.
well, I guess he would have gotten a bingo after.
Well, he's going to get a double-double, so there you go.
Yeah.
That worked out well.
Sam, how's your collection of brats doing today?
That didn't take long.
Zev is throwing his
Thank you,
shade.
Zev. Thank you for, of all people to have repeated that. I really would not have expected it to be you.
Repeated it. All right, I'm like
To repeat.
my coffee hasn't kicked in yet. So
What
we'll
coffee?
see.
There was too long a line at Starbucks. I'm
There's
dying
coffee.
here.
There's coffee in the room.
I'm dying here.
I made the in-room coffee. It was
Oh God.
It was idiot-proof. And that was really all I could ask for, because
It's not idiot-proof because I made my own cup of tea and put too much water in it.
Oh,
Went
oops.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh no, that's what I tried my best not to do.
So we might get a chance to see that sexy extension that we talked about the other day when zebras, if somebody sticks an S on it, they can stick another S on it to make zebras. We'll see what to go. Budgeted blocked.
Oh yeah, would have been a nice
Oh my goodness.
start.
Degusted he has instead.
Oh
so
yeah,
there you
there's
go.
the S hanging out there.
And here we go again.
The rack ended up pretty tasty after all.
Okay, I'm sure Jason's going to play mauve to start. There we go.
Joel almost has iPhone noob, but not quite.
Okay. Well, he's not going to miss that, especially since he has it on his rack.
Sam, I think you should bring a set of brats to a tournament. That can be like your new persona for Scrabble. Reinvent yourself. Show us your passion for fashion.
Elf and Magic, yeah. So I had a discussion about why the pairings were changed, and wanted everybody to know that the decision to have the pairings the way they were originally was as a result of the tournament committee, which, according to Chris Crease, had debated this exact issue for several years, actually, as to what would be the best. So you know that they actually put a great deal of thought into it. If that was a T, I was going to... Oh, it's still a good rack. Okay.
He still drew a bingo.
He still drew a bingo. Okay. So the decision to have Nigel play someone other than Joel, in this case it was Joey Malik, was as a result of the tournament committee. It's not just John Chu. This is a committee that makes this decision. That being said, there has been precedent in the past, as goes back to Las Vegas with the Superstar Tournament, where David Gibson who's a wonderful player from North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Spartanburg.
I had two choices. I knew I'd get it wrong. Spartanburg. He was so ahead of the pack that they decided that it would be ridiculous for him to keep playing people who were in contention to come in second and third. And they created a rule which we now call the Gibson rule, or a person becomes Gibsonized. That's what that means. And that, in fact, will happen if Nigel wins this or the next game, or this game. He will be Gibsonized, and he will no longer be playing people who are in contention to be second or third. All right. So because there is precedent that the players can actually change the rule in the middle of a tournament, it was decided to speak to all four of them individually to see what they thought about changing the pairings for this round. All of them agreed that, I'm sure Nigel didn't care, the other three agreed that it made the most sense, that Joel had the greatest chance of usurping Nigel. Joey would have had to win all of his games by, what was it, 260 points? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. So they made what we all agree was the right decision, and that's why you're seeing this pairing today. And that being said, Chris also has said for me to tell you, we need people on the tournament committee. This is one of the most important committees in NASPA because it determines so many things all around, every issue around tournaments. So if you're interested, make your interest be known and come join us.
Yeah, Sam, I do agree that asking the players involved is not right at all. But, this is just kind of consistently what happens at Nationals. We're still kind of working out how to handle pairings. I know my year, when I won Nationals here a few years ago, there were some pairing issues as well. Ones that, favored me a bit, and I tried to get them changed, but no go. It's kind of a mathematical belief to some degree, too, that puts us in this situation in the first place. But, that's part of what keeps it interesting, I suppose.
What's not making it interesting is Nigel bingoing 3 times in a row in a game that would be really, really good if...
Joel also has very easy bingos, so there's still hope until we see the rest of Nigel's tiles.
Well, it would be really important would be a triple right now, which is not happening.
That's not happening.
But we'll take it.
This game is based on the official club and tournament word list. It's basically the dictionary you'd see in the store with bad words added.
So while we're waiting for Joel to play, I'll give you an update on CSW, which is also very important. If Jason loses, he will no longer... he'll probably be in first place because I think he has the best spread.
No, he doesn't. He has the worst spread.
He has the worst spread. You think I would do some research before coming on the air? Okay, so he won't be in first place anymore. So we're going to have a barn burner over there. But he got the first bingo down with leisure after Craig played croquet for 22 points through his mauve. But Craig then picked up the blank unplayable, was able to get a 40-point waif play. And I'll get you an update on the score. Still unable to play the bingo on the very next turn. And now we're waiting for him to play. So currently the score is Jason 152 to Craig 82. Craig holding blank DIIORS on an open board where he can hook the D or the S onto leisure.
Yeah, so just to go over the dictionaries again for the morning once. So in North American play, we use the official club and tournament word list, aka the OWL 3, I think, is the number we're up to now. It's put out by Merriam-Webster, and it's used primarily in tournaments in North America, where the trademark is held by Hasbro for the game. And Collins Scrabble Words, made by HarperCollins, is used around the world, where the Scrabble trademark is controlled by Mattel. We also have a division that uses the International Dictionary here, so you might see games using that dictionary as well.
Nigel plays what I would think is the best play.
Probably the best is the best play, but I mean also just like knowing I don't know, seems like a fairly obscure 6-letter word to me. It's just to play it almost instantly. Not that many people know all the sixes that cold.
Yeah, we definitely concentrate our study on the 7s and 8s because that's where you get the bonuses.
Yeah.
And the 5s and the 6 often are left alone in the cold. But honest to God, you can win your games with those middle plays.
It looks like, I'm assuming Joel's going to bingo again
Oh
here.
my goodness. Does he have a triple? Wow. Let's look. First I'm finding a bingo with the D. And I can't see anything with the D personally.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
There's Olafine for sure.
Yeah, that's what I...
Which, let's see if that plays. Yeah. Oh no, not Baronets blocks it. That's the only 7, I believe. I don't know, it may not be as easy. Let's see. Through the R, nothing. Wow, I don't know if he's got anything. I don't know. He might have to make a small play, getting rid of the F, or scoring with the F.
I mean, he can play foiled, keeping E blank.
That seems to
scoring.
be the most, yeah.
I mean, he's got FOE on the left side. Kind of depends. You know, Joel is behind on spread here, so it does behoove him to maybe keep that open and go for the triple.
He can't stick... I mean, he can stick the F at 6I and score a little bit there if he wants to just balance the rack a little bit, play something like Fe.
Yeah, but he's got the left side where it can get rid of FOE, which is even better.
Even better, yeah. That would be even better.
4 lies is Collins only. That's why we're not saying it. But we do see that, I promise.
No, defoiler is not good. Yeah, we like faux as well.
Yeah, I think when you need the spread, you kind of have to go with something like faux. Unless he really just wants to go for a win right now, then just take foiled. I won't be surprised if Joel still takes foiled anyway, because I think Joel has some kind of fatalistic views about Scrabble where he just assumes Nigel's going to have like a really good rack. And I guess in this case...
Well, he's got me God. That's what he says.
In this case, the fatalism is correct.
And Joel is the kind of person, so many people will play Nigel and they won't take it. They'll always just take the one that gives him this incredible play. And Joel, as I think I even said yesterday, is just the kind of person he tends to block exactly where you're about to go. And you could see because he really, really thinks things through really, really carefully.
But I think at the same time that can also sometimes be the detriment, is that he can overthink things a bit. But
he can.
I love talking with Joel about what goes through his thought process.
Oh, he's going to play Phi. He likes OL better. Do you like OL better or IL better?
Well, you're keeping an E, so probably the I. But looking at how many, there aren't that many O's left. It's about the same. I think you're going to bingo.
There's a lot of
bit
E's.
more.
There's a lot of I's left unseen compared. There's 6. And I'd much rather have 2 O's than 2 I's. So I think I would play, personally, I'd play faux.
Interestingly, I would rather have 2 I's with EL blank.
Yeah?
You're going to bingo more.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You can make the blank a C or whatever. It's more flexible. Maybe without a blank, you might be able to score more points on average with the 2 O's. So that I could get on board with. Rich points out that Joel actually just needs to straight up win all 3. I forgot how to do math because it's a day ending in Y, as it turns out. That said, in terms of Joel's spread against Joey and any of the other players, he's got a ton of spread up on Joey, but still a chance for someone a couple games back to come past him.
Yeah, so he definitely sees the bingo. We know that he doesn't have anything playable, but he doesn't have the advantage we do. So he's just making super, super sure that he can't play anything. That's what's taking so long in this turn.
Yeah, we do run other Scrabble tournaments on Twitch, but they're much smaller scale. This is kind of our hallmark event for the year, just as it is the hallmark event for our organization. But I think we've been streaming on Twitch for 3 or 4 years now, and every year I feel it's getting better. We're getting a little more used to it.
Well, I had a discussion with Chris at lunch yesterday. Never say that a working lunch isn't important. Yeah. And I brought up the idea to him that, when I do the Worlds, I do it every single day. And I'd love to start doing it every single day and start creating a narrative and excitement, and people watch from the very beginning and they can follow along. And he goes, we hadn't really thought of that. Nobody was ever said that to us.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed that had been suggested and
rejected for money or for whatever. It's an expensive thing.
Yeah. And for context, Chris is one of the co-heads of the North American SCRABBLE Players Association.
So then we started playing with the idea of maybe starting the tournament on Wednesday and ending Sunday, so that if we only can do 2 days, we end on a weekend where everybody can show up and not have to be at work. So you might be seeing some changes next year. We'll see.
I think that belies the fact that many of our wonderful observers are currently on summer break. And I don't think the whole concept of work matters that much to them. So let us know if you are not of working age yet and you are enjoying the Scrabble. Maybe we can keep it for a random weekday that helps, deal with some of that summer boredom or something. Yeah, we're hoping that we're going to have a great set of Scrabble streaming, great broadcast in Malaysia. I'll be representing Team USA at what can really only be considered the equivalent of a championship for, Team Scrabble. Not an official championship, but in terms of the level of play, pretty that was going to make up a word. Pretty spectacular.
So you've kind of noticed, even though we've been filling the time up so beautifully that you're not even aware, but Joel is taking a long time on this turn. I mean, the last time I checked, it was 5 minutes ago.
That's amazing.
So I'm watching Nigel, and what I really admire is that he's not fidgeting. Often when you play, often the younger players who are full of energy, so it's not a criticism, but they'll start moving around and twitching and turning and Nigel, but you got to wonder though how it's affecting Nigel, which I'm going to assume not at all.
Yeah.
Joel's going to have to make a decision. He can get so many points and balance his rack so beautifully by playing faux or fee next to Pokali. And he's got the blank. So the decision is, once I can't find the bingo, do I play that faux or fee, or do I play foiled and block the triple? This is almost certainly what he's thinking. And so Nigel's going to play McGod, almost certainly.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a very Joel thing to do, to spend all that time on a consequential play, but one where I don't think spending 7 or 8 minutes debating it is really going to change your mind. You kind of just have to choose how you want the game to proceed. Do you want it to stay really open? Do you want it to start to close down a bit more? And he waited a long time to do that.
So he's got, easy like outlove and all that without even thinking, which he can play on top of baronet. So we know he's going to bingo. The question is, how volatile will that bingo be?
I hate to tell you, Robin, but ought is not a word. As much as we want it to be.
We had this whole discussion yesterday. We have to change it.
Yeah, but he has out soul and gospeler.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there you go. That's even better. We really got to change ought.
So, Papa, what goes into making the decision between the play he did and blocking the possibility of a triple? There's a few things in there. For starters, because it's a close game, the board's really open right now, and I think he just needs to decide, because you have the E in baronets, that's a big scoring spot. The spot he's taking is a big scoring spot. There's a good X spot, with the B under Gospeler, really just trying to decide, how much he wants to leave up to chance, or what we'd call variance, and how much he wants to try to start controlling the board. And given that he's, down a bit on Nigel, keeping that variance and keeping a lot of things open, could work to his advantage, especially as Nigel's arguably a slightly better player.
And Nigel has another bingo through the T.
Yeah.
It's almost like impossible to pick a bad rack, or to pick a bad rack like he had with McGod and not score 42. But he found it, Not everybody would have found McGod. But he's for sure going to find the bingo through the T. Or through the E. He had 2 of them. This is the better choice.
If Joel were to win this game, he will play Nigel again. If he loses this game, then Nigel will win the tournament. But
okay, I was about to say this was the most important rack of Joel's life. He just picked JEED through baronets, saving a blank.
Even better.
Even better?
Hefe.
Hefe's even better.
So
that just saved his cookie, boy.
Yeah.
This rack was going to determine whether we already were going to crown our champion. Advise. But I don't know if he has a place for
It
it.
looks like finally he doesn't have a place for it.
Is it like, how does one, like, what does one do to pick like this? I don't know what one has to do.
I mean, it's every now and then it happens, and you just have to be ready for it. And I think part of it is to some degree you make your own luck. So if you're not making every play correctly, you never know if you've just killed your own chance of doing that. And Nigel never kills that chance. So
That's true. But it's just annoying to pick UV on a bingo rack.
well, then Scrabble might not be the game for you.
I took a break for a reason.
I think a lot of people know about me that I'm one of the most staunch, like, anti-luck complainers about Scrabble. Being a top expert, people come up to me and complain a lot. This is in no way throwing shade at Robin, just people in general. I'm just like, look, until you're making the best play like Nigel every turn, don't waste the time complaining.
So you're saying that there's some sort of higher power that is allowing, once you've created the best play, to pick better tiles? Is that the implication?
I think the implication is that you don't know what you would have done if you had played every move correctly. So I'd rather spend the time personally trying to get better than wondering like why I had bad luck. That's basically what it is.
All right.
Well, honestly,
Oh.
this is truly a great game. They're both playing excellently. This gives Nigel a 3-point lead. Joel's going to have 2 open E's to work with. Obviously, can't do much here in terms of bingoing, but he can play off an N and an X for 26 points, and keep things open. He's got axing up at the top left, which leaves the I, the E, and the E open. It's not going to keep Nigel from trying to draw balanced racks, but
That's really nice axing. You're far too coherent this early in the morning.
I think the coffee's starting to.
Oh, you
kick
got
in.
the coffee. I didn't get the coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
Morning, Cyborgin.
So,
Or Grin.
according to Joel right now, there are 9 vowels unseen.
Well, Cage Disa, you're watching the number 1 player right now, so he would be the one to challenge. You can find him in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where he bikes around, just generally having a good time.
I'll give you an update on CSW.
The people want you to get some coffee for your sake, not for their sake. Where's the coffee for
I'll
Robin?
get my people. I'll get my cabana boy. Where's my cabana boy?
Yeah.
It looks like in CSW that Craig Beavers is going to beat Jason, who got down Ironside and then 2 turns later Epinaos, Yuts for 48, and then aerated for 82. Really impressive to get down aerated so late in the game when the board was pretty tight. And yes, he made a 5-tile overlap next to Epinaos and aerated to, I think, put this game away pretty. I mean, right now it's 90-point difference, 92. We'll see what happens, but it's looking good for Craig Beavers and not good for Jason.
So what does Nigel do for a living? As far as we know, he's not doing too much these days except studying the dictionary and biking around Kuala Lumpur. There is a guy, I believe, in the UK who does have a t-shirt that says, "I beat Nigel." He has since beat Nigel a second time, if I recall correctly, so I don't know if he got a second t-shirt. But having beat Nigel in a tournament in Thailand, it's going to sound so lame, but just the joy of knowing you won is really great. Nigel was in the national championship that I won, and I got lucky in that he started out poorly, and I always had enough of a buffer where I never had to play him in that tournament. I believe he did used to work for some sort of security system company, but I think at this point, his overhead costs aren't that high right now. So
Once he bought the blow dryer, he had everything.
yeah, pretty much, and probably a new fanny pack. But yeah, Ray Tate, he's the one with the "I beat Nigel" Scrabble T-shirt for sure.
Well, actually, someone mentioned his beard, but he's looking really dapper. I mean, he used to have that what was it, IKEA beard, we would call it?
It was getting pretty long.
I think there was a family of ravens in there for a while.
Well, we used to joke that all of his tear ducts had been replaced by beard ducts. um, you know.
Ooh, he is not. Oh, he's worried about that triple, which of course he should be.
And so this is where you can see Joel's really fatalistic view coming in. I mean, he's saving Onyx, if nothing else. So almost certainly he sees that play as a potential. But this is just such a paranoid play to make at this point in the game, where you really have to have some sort of like predetermined belief that things are going to happen a certain way. And I do know this about Joel, that he kind of has these interesting, I can only call them fatalistic views of how things are going to work. You know,
But the Onyx he's got in the bag.
Yeah,
as long as it's not taken, he's got it with the blank.
Yeah, and it sets up QAT for.
Well, it's the only
40.
way he's going to get it. There's no O's left.
Right, and then he'll have QAT left over for 40 to follow it up. The problem is he's just expended an entire turn scoring almost nothing in a game that's quite close, when he, you know, could have gone for another bingo quite easily.
I don't think that Nigel can use the H on the double letter and double the Ryans.
And he'd have to use both of his
He would have
S's.
to use both and make hiss. So I don't know that that's going to happen. He might just play dish, saving the U for the unseen Q.
Then he'll draw the second Q, which we are.
Well, but in his mind, he doesn't know that it's gone.
Right, but given how he's been drawing,
come on, I'm not that.
No. But given how he's been drawing,
oh,
he will draw the second Q
because there's a 60-point Q play somewhere.
Yeah, it's like it'll just show up, and you know, it's kind of how it's going for him this tournament. Entirely joking in the sense of throwing any shade on Nigel, but.
He almost certainly will also see the possibility for Onyx, and he might just decide to stick the H at Ha between the two A's and baronets and Oliveri to prevent that from happening.
I think part of the question is, if Joel does play Onyx, what's his follow up?
You see? You see?
Yeah.
You see? There you go. Do you think he should have played Onyx last turn?
I mean, honestly, no. I think he probably should have played like Axing or something and just gone for the bingo.
This is 61. Wow, that's a lot of points to give up. N issues. Actually needs the X for unisexes.
You know, playing Nigel in Scrabble is a pretty great thing. He has a geniuses spelled out on his rack minus the G.
I mean, how many people would have played Dish? So many people would have done that. Recognize the possibility of Onyx. So you can't, you know, I bitch about how he picks well, which I do. Look, he started the game with Zebra, Degusted, and Oliveri. This is nothing to do with making the right play. This is what he picked in his first 3 turns. That's where I have a little bit of difficulty that he does that. But in this case, this shows deep, deep thought and forethought.
And of course, for the Collins people, would recognize that Onyx is actually still valid.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's
Han
not.
is not good in, yeah. Over in CSW, maybe Jason played prophetically can't, K-A-N-T, showing that he can't win this game. But right now it's 452 to 368. I think there's one more play to no more 452 to 368.
Oh, there's no docs.
Craig.
This is why I play Scrabble. There's no docs in Collins. I tried playing docs a couple days ago against Quackle, so that's why. Maybe my coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Well, I'm gonna have to live that one down. That was pretty embarrassing. Yeah. So, whoops. Apologies for everyone I've just let down by saying a phony 3.
You said docs?
DOX.
Okay. It's not good anywhere, I don't think.
No, I mean, I think it's good in real life, but...
Like documentaries?
I think it means something else, but...
Okay, let's keep in mind that Joel now is 20 points down and 15 and a half minutes less than Nigel.
Yeah, that's what I thought it meant. Doxing is searching and publishing private information about people on the internet.
So good in Collins?
No, no, it's not. That was
It's
the
not
joke.
even,
Was that
yeah,
I
it's,
just came up with a phony 3 in Collins, but it's just because it's a word in real life, and real life words and Collins words are currently getting mixed up in my head.
I think Joel's going to really, really regret using all that time on the fee play, because he really needs to think a lot on how he can maximize. He's got really the best tiles in terms of being able to score a lot, but he needs to be able to play them in the right order to maximize both of them. And that takes a great deal of thought.
They start with 25 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Joel needs to score, and that's kind of what you saw last turn. Is he gave up a whole turn of scoring, and that I still would argue was not a good idea. He could consider something like a Niqab using the blank for 30-something, keeping axe. He's got to score well with both of his power tiles, both of the high point tiles and the blank. Because he's also aware there's CCHM or something left that.
This is almost his ace in the hole if Nigel picks up the CC and doesn't have places to put it. They can get quite clunky in the close end game, but
That's a pretty cool play. He's saving Niqab.
And he can play Kadi.
And he also play Kadi. If he draws one of the eyes, he has QI saving the blank.
I think Kadi is what he's looking at, to play Taxa and Kadi. So that's exactly the kind of thing he needed to do.
He drew the eye. He now has QI.
Oh my goodness, and he didn't get either of the Cs.
Yeah, wow.
Wow. There's nowhere really to bingo, though, now that he played Rind. Through the E, he has to. So he's got to... How many tiles? Oh, he doesn't... He can't futz around for a bingo. Okay.
Yeah.
If it was Collins, he could play Kin up at M1. Okay, things have just changed, folks. That pick was everything.
That could be a tournament saver right there, amazingly.
Are we actually seeing what's left in the bag, Rashad? Did you do that for us? You lovely man, you. Look what he did for us. I asked and he made it happen. If only life was like that for everything.
Yeah.
So there are 4 tiles left in the bag. Okay. Now we got us a game.
They're playing for 10,000 bones. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's a wholesome channel, except when it's not. I mean, this should still be good news for Nigel. I'm sorry, for Joel. Uni will leave 1 in the bag.
So he can't... Here's my coffee boy. Thank you, coffee boy. Who's lucky. Thank you so much.
So Joel's going to have, Umiax, Unique, all sorts of stuff that's going to give him the win. And despite Nigel drawing chesses...
I think he picked the worst possible.
That's not chesses. I still can't spell. Wow, what am I doing here? Can someone just send me home?
Well,
please?
I've got coffee, so now I'll take over the smart comments, and you can take over the ditzy one.
There we go. Perfect. We're all good then.
There's 2 left in the bag. So again, Nigel anticipating the Kadi setup.
But unfortunately for him, Joel has too many good plays there. So even after chess, I don't think that's going to be enough points for Joel, who's going to...
You think Umiax? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, unless he decides Unique is better. But hello, great.
And he's leaving... not having the C in the bag is just so huge for Joel to be able to go out quickly. I don't know if he has anything if he pays Umiax.
Yeah.
That he is going to play that.
Yeah, no reason to make our stream toxic. I studied Twitch. I've designed games for Twitch before. You ain't gonna get a reaction out of me. It just ain't worth it.
Which one?
So
yes, God of Tony, you missed out on a great game.
The God of Tony, I love it. No, the prize pool is 10 grand. I wish it was 3 million. Then I wouldn't have to work really hard at work. As a result, we still have to work hard at work. So unless my math is pretty terrible, Joel has pulled this one out, which is pretty sweet. And in that event, we will come back to Joel and Nigel in just a bit. I mean, we can argue all day whether or not Joel's play of Rind was good, bad, genius, terrible. The way it played out, he did draw the right tiles he needed after that play to make it happen.
So what can
Hi,
he
Tony.
play to make sure he doesn't lose? He has eyeing, but I'm sure he can do better than that. Just EH next to out. Oh, it's finished.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, what just happened? Look down for a second.
Joel played Knave.
Was there no H? There was no H in the bag. That was a mistake then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nigel drew CCH out of the bag.
Oh my God! What an exciting game. So we'll get the final score up there in a
Pretty
second.
great.
485 to 461. I mean, what more could you want? Unfortunately for CSW fans, that means we are going to stay with TWL. But I think even for CSW fans, get to watch Nigel play Joel again is no small consolation prize. Over in CSW, it looks like a 497 to 414 so far for Jason, for Craig Beavers. I'm not sure if the game's over, but the game ostensibly is over. So in both divisions, nobody is running away with it right now. We're getting people tying the leaders or preventing the leader from winning the tournament, which is only good news from a broadcast standpoint, not so much for the players involved.
Yeah, so